Oh, cool. While we're weaponizing that in order for political aims, Israeli journalist Ari Shavit, after visiting a Palestinian camp, or as you guys call it, a prison, found it very similar to a certain historical event. They wrote, most Palestinians are awaiting trial. Most were arrested because they were throwing stones or were said to be members of illegal organizations. Many are in their teens. Among them here or there are some boys who are small and appear to be very young. The prison has 12 guard towers. Some Israeli soldiers are struck and deeply shaken by the similarity between these and certain other towers about which they learned at school. The unjust analogy with those other camps of 50 years ago won't go away. And I too, who have always abhorred this analogy, who have always argued bitterly with anyone who so much as hints at it, I can no longer stop myself. The associations are too strong. Like a believer whose faith is cracking, I go over and over again in my mind in the long list of arguments, the list of differences. But then I realize that the problem is not in the similarity, for no one can seriously think that there is a real similarity, but that there isn't enough lack of similarity. The problem is that the lack of similarity isn't strong enough to silence once and for all the evil echoes, the accusing images. Maybe in the Shin Bet, secret police, is to blame for this, for the arrest it makes and what it does to those arrested. For almost every night after it has managed in its interrogations to quote-unquote break a certain number of young men, the Shin Bet delivers to the soldiers a list with names of friends of young men. Then the soldiers go out almost every night to the city and come back with children of 15 or 16 years of age. The children grit their teeth, their eyes bulge from their sockets. In not a few cases, they have already been beaten, and the soldiers crowd together in a reception room to look at them when they undress, to look at them in their underwear, to look at them as they tremble with fear. And sometimes they kick them, one kick or more, before they put on their new prison clothes. Or maybe the doctor is to blame. You wake him up in the middle of the night to treat the ones who have just been brought in. A young man, barefoot, wounded, who looks like he's having an epileptic fit, who tells you that they beat him just now in the back and the heart, over the heart and the stomach. There are red, ugly marks over his body. The doctor turns to the young man and shouts at him. In a loud, raging voice, he says, "May you die." And then he turns to me with a laugh. May they all die. Or maybe the screams are to blame. At the end of the watch, you will sometimes hear the horrible screams from the other side of the fence of the interrogation section. Hair-raising screams, literally hair-raising. In Gaza, our General Secretary services therefore amount to secret police. Our internment facilities clearly run gulags. Our soldiers are jailers, our interrogators torturers. In Gaza, it is all straightforward and clear. There's no place to hide. So, as long as we're weaponizing that and you're weaponizing it to do a genocide, I'm going to keep on calling what you're doing a Holocaust because it clearly is.